Have I just found the most underrated tool for accuracy in my workshop? I mean, don't get me wrong, we've all got one of these. We've been putting roundovers, chamfering all the things, but by using this flush trim bit and a template, I'm hoping to take my work to the next level. But this is a workshop full of mistakes and disasters. So let's see whether this can improve things for me and whether there's anything that you can take away from this video. So first of all, we need to make a template. I'm going to use a laser for mine here, but you could use cardboard, MDF, plywood. The options are limitless as long as you can make a shape. So while this laser's working away, making a template, I need to find some wood. Now I've been saving this wood for a special project and I think this is just right. This is a piece of reclaimed mango wood. It was part of a 6-foot dining table that a gentleman round the corner was throwing away because one of the metal legs were broke. This stuff's beautiful, but there's one thing about it. It's got a very rough finish. It's still got the saw marks in and you can't see it, but this thing is up and down all over the place. Now with the template complete, I'm just going to find somewhere that I can put it on where the grain orientation's going to be what I want. Now while I do this tracing and then cutting a rough shape out, I want to tell you a little bit about the piece that I'm making. This summer we went to Disneyland in Paris, and whilst there we collected all the Challenger coins that we could find, and I wanted to make something that could go on the wall for my little girl to remember her trip forever. So as always, when working with any reclaimed materials, I always like to use my metal detector. So I've got this wrong before, I've just put new blades in planer. I don't want this to be a £60 mistake. It always amazes me how much unseen material is in a piece of reclaimed wood. It's a funny old game is woodworking, isn't it? Just when you think you're making some progress, you turn the planer on and the drive belt snaps. More than one way to do everything though, isn't there? So we're on to the belt sander. Oh, I hate this thing. And a short time later, and enough dust to annoy every neighbour I've got, we were flat again. I then scribbled on and started on 80, 120 and 150 grit, moving left to right, then up and down to get all the coverage. If you'd like to see more videos of me overcomplicating simple projects whilst annoying my neighbours with endless dust and noise, consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me. It'll really help a small channel like mine out. And now I've finished pestering you, it's back on with the build. I'm tracing out the shape for real now so I can trim off as much of the excess as I can. I'm going to use any tools that I've got to do this, from my miter saw, onto my jigsaw and even the handsaw where needed. Now that I've got rid of the bulk of that material, I'm going to put it on the laser so I can put on the circles where the coins are going to go and the outline so I can line up my template nice and flush. Progress so far, we've got a rough cut with the jigsaw, just shy of the line, nearly touching it in a couple of places. Got my flush trim router bit or pattern bit, depending what you want to call it. Now to stick the template on, I've doubled it up just so there's a bit of extra purchase space for the router. See how this gets on. So a couple of pieces of double-sided sticky tape later, and it's time to press the template on down. Now it's important at this junction to discuss router bits, because not all bits are equal. This is your cheap Amazon bit, straight edged. This butchers things worse than I do. Whereas here on the new one, this has got both an up and a down cut bit together, making sure that you get flush, clean edges on both top and the bottom. This is my new favourite bit. So with the bit in the router, I've got the template on the bottom and it's a case of just going round and letting the bearing track the template, making the cuts to the exact same size. When you're done, the template is simply prised off with a putty knife. I'm absolutely made up with how this has come out. Look at it! And this finish is absolutely amazing. This is beyond where I thought it would take my accuracy. So if that's a measure of how good this process is, I'm all for it. I think I'll be using this again going forward. Just needs a tiny bit of clean up, but such a light sanding. The purpose of this is to put these little Challenger coins in. I've got 12 in total and I'm going to countersink them all into the workpiece so it all looks nice and flush. Now this is where a drill press would have really come into its own. But I've not got one, and sadly I've forgotten my hand drill press that's locked away in a cupboard somewhere, so I've free-handed all the holes in, trying to make sure that the coins fit flush with the top of the wood. Once I'm happy with each fit, I'm going to glue them in using a hot glue gun. Now there are better options available, but I would like the possibility of maybe taking these out in years to come. so I didn't want to use something too permanent like epoxy. Now everyone's favourite part's coming up, it's adding the finish. There's nothing better on a project than getting to this stage and seeing the whole workpiece pop and come alive as you rub on your favourite finish. For me, that's Odie's oil. Goes on nice and easy, leave it for 20 minutes and buff it off. I'm absolutely gobsmacked at how well this has come out. Who'd have thought that just using that one technique would have got the accuracy level right up to 100%. I've never been near that accurate before, but I'll be doing this process again, so hopefully I'll keep up those results. So what have we learnt today? That some simple processes can really improve how you go about your woodworking. Doesn't take much to become a lot better. And if you want to see how I made 2 simple cuts to improve my coffee table builds, check out this video down here. But if you could do me a favour before you go, hit that like and subscribe button down on this side. Really helps a small channel like myself out. Have a good day, guys.